Welcome. This is the Track and Field Bleacher Reporter here, introducing my brand new YouTube channel. This channel here, I want to do something different. I've noticed that there's not really too many independent reviewers out there talking about track and field. We have some bloggers, a lot of vloggers actually in the track and field scene, but there's nobody that really giving backseat bleacher reporting type information. So I want to bring to you something different. I want to just go through and talk about all things track and field related, mainly focusing on the Division I, NCAA Division I scene. I'm gonna dibble and dabble a little bit in some of the high school stuff, and probably do a lot of the professional events and meets once they get going. But because the NCAA scene is so structured and kind of easy to be consistent on, and you know what the landscape is, I think I can focus and pretty much there in doing this channel. But I don't know where the channel is going to go. This is a brand new channel of mine. It's not really scripted. I don't really have it planned out too much, but I just wanted to do something different. I wanted to just talk about some of the things that's going on week by week, break down a lot of the events. I don't know, maybe have some interviews on here at some point in time. I just have no idea where this channel is going to go. We've already had 2 weeks so far of the 2017/2018 indoor season. So the season hasn't really gotten started, right? So I think that I wanted to kick this off and review the first couple of weeks, but also in the next coming videos, I probably will do some reviews, in-depth reviews of both the men's and women's track events and a couple of the field events for the NCAA Division I season for the 2018 season. But we're going to get started and just talk about some of the things that have happened so far. All right, cross country is out of the way now. We had a good cross country season. I was very in tune to cross country this season. I was very impressed with a lot of the runners. New Mexico really brought it. Congratulations, New Mexico women, for winning the NCAA team title, and also congrats to Northern Arizona. I didn't know between Northern Arizona and BYU who was going to get it, but Northern Arizona, you guys did your thing cross country. So cross country is out the way now. We're going to move into indoor, and this is where all the steam and the fast times and the records and the Bowerman. Today is actually the Bowerman ceremony. Is going to be happening in a little bit. So this is where it's all going to get started here in indoor. So like I said, it's been 2 weeks so far that the indoor scene has been rolling, and the indoor scene has been going on for Division I, and it's been some okay times now. I just want to just give a little review. I'm going to go probably by event of what I saw, not even event by event, but some of the highlights of the events that I saw so far in week 1 and week 2. So let's go ahead and get into these reviews of what has happened so far in week 1 and week 2 on the NCAA scene for the Division I 2017/2018 indoor season. Go ahead right to the 60. In the men's 60, Jaylen Mitchell from North Carolina A&T, he's ran 6:65, so which is a PR for him actually so far in the 60, which is a pretty good time for December. That was like the first week of December, and he's already run 6:65. So Jaylen was actually a part of the 4x1 for North Carolina A&T that came in 3rd place at this past 2017 outdoor NCAA track and field meet. So good things look to be coming from Jaylen Mitchell. He's a sophomore, so he still has some room to grow. And North Carolina A&T is kind of one of those teams that historically haven't really been heavy hitters on the on the NCAA championship level scene for track and field. But so it's kind of hard to know where he's going to go. But I mean, running 6:65 already in the first week of December is pretty good, and it looks to me that North Carolina A&T is building their team up. So I'll keep my eye out for North Carolina A&T and see if they have anyone else coming down the pipe. So yeah, Jaylen Mitchell, he's run 6:65. Also, Darius Rogers from Illinois State, he ran 6:66. Darius Rogers was 13th last year in indoor in 2017, this past indoor season. So he's looking to kind of qualify maybe for the finals. He didn't make the finals. Obviously, he was 13, so he didn't make the finals. But he's probably looking this year to hopefully get into the finals and maybe be top 3, 4. Who knows? So we'll keep an eye out for Darius Rogers as the season goes on. In the women's 60, Celera Bonds, she's transferred. Actually, she was from UCLA, and she was at UCLA last year as a freshman, and now she's at Kentucky. She's transferred to the Kentucky Wildcats. They got a lot of things going on down in Kentucky, but Celera Bonds, she's ran the 60. She ran 7:34 so far. The other week at the Hoosier Open that Kentucky was at. Her PR is 7:33 from high school. So actually when she was at UCLA, she didn't PR. She only ran her freshman indoor season. She didn't run outdoor. She redshirted outdoor last year for UCLA, but while she was at UCLA, she didn't PR in the 60, but she's run 7:34 already in the second week of December, and that's only 100th off of her PR. So it looks like she's on board to probably run if she continues to improve and she continues to work hard throughout the Christmas break, and looks like she may be able to run 7:20 or lower this indoor season. So maybe she might be a factor in NCAAs. We have to keep an eye out for Celera Bonds. Kyle Clark, her teammate from Kentucky, she's a senior actually from Kentucky. This is her second indoor season at Kentucky. She just got to Kentucky last indoor season. It was her first season at Kentucky. She was a transfer from JUCO, and she ran 7:67 last year in the 60, but that was her first year. I don't think she probably had any fall conditioning under her belt. So this year she's had a full year under the Kentucky program, and she's already run 7:37, which is 3/10 PR already for her. So we'll keep an eye out for Kyle Clark as well. Kyle was the third leg on Kentucky's national championship 4x1 last year in 2017. So she has the experience so far. So maybe she can improve on that, and maybe that has built up her confidence. But it looks like she'll be one to watch out this year as well. Kyle Clark. Illinois State, Dejanay Arevba. I'm sorry, I'm jacking up your last name. I have to get your last name down pat. But Dejanay ran 7:39. Her previous PR in 2017 was a 7:48. She's just a sophomore at Illinois State. She's Dejanay. Once I get her last name right, I'm not going to continue to say her last name. But when I get her last name right, I was really impressed when I did some research on Dejanay. She's improved dramatically. In high school, she ran 7:87 in the 60. In the 100, she ran 12:09 and 25:09 in the 200. And so that was her high school PR. She's a sophomore now in her freshman year in Illinois State. She ran 11:68 in the 100 and 23:84 in the 200, as well as 7:48 in the 60. She's already PR. She's ran 7:39 so far. So someone like a Dejanay, you never know what to expect from a runner like that, because she's come from running barely like a 7:87, just breaking 8 seconds in the 60 in high school, and now she just ran a PR the first or second week in December of 7:39. And so we have to keep an eye on Dejanay. Like I said, I don't really know too much about her, but it seems like she has has a high potential. She has a high ceiling on her. So we'll keep an eye out on her and see if she can continue to improve, and again maybe run a 7:39 in the first or second week of December. Come back in January or February and she can drop. You can get down into those 7.2s. I think she'll be good to go. Maybe she'll be an NCAA contender, but she's only a sophomore, so she still has 2 more seasons to improve. So even if she doesn't make it to NCAAs this year, it's not a defeat for her. And coming out of high school running 7:87, and you just ran 7:39 this past weekend. I mean, that's great. That's amazing. So we'll keep an eye out on Dejanay, and I'll have to get her last name pronunciation down pat. But for right now, I'll call her Dejanay E. for right now. Cita Chavez from the University of Memphis. She's also a sophomore, and she's just like Dejanay. She came out of high school. She was running 12:10 in the 100 and 24:64 in the 200. That was her previous best in high school, and in her junior or senior year. Last year in the 60, she ran 7:68. She ran 7:39 in the first week in December. So that, just like Desjardins, if she's running 7:39 now, the first week in December, she may be able to drop that time down by a tenth or so, and that may qualify her for NCs. But again, coming from running 12:10 in the 100 in high school, and then not within two years later, you're running 7:39 in the 60. That shows that that you have a high ceiling. I mean, that's going to be a runner that we're going to have to watch out for coming down the pipe. Let's jump back to the men. The men's 300. There wasn't really any dramatic 200 times ran, so I'm going to skip the men's 200. It wasn't anything that really popped out from week 1 to week 2, which is good because it's still early. You don't have to run 20, 50 in the 200 week 1 or week 2. It's not necessary. So, and a lot of the heavy contenders haven't even opened up yet, so we're not even going to worry about the men's 200. But the men's 300, Dwight St. Hilaire from Kentucky. He's a Kentucky freshman. He's from Trinidad and Tobago. He's a freshman now in Kentucky. It's not a lot out there about him. He's run 46:30 in the 400 and 21:15 in the 200. I think those are outdoor times, so he may not even have a lot of indoor experience. Who knows? But he's run 32:83 so far. He was at the Hoosier Invite in week 2 for Kentucky. That was a pretty good time. In the process, he took down Nathan Strother from Tennessee, who ran 33:16. Nathan Strother has a PR of 45:07, which he ran that at this past 2017 USATF Nationals. So Dwight St. Hilaire has already beat him in the 300. So, and like I said, Dwight St. Hilaire had a 46:30 PR prior to coming into Kentucky, and he just took down a 55:07 PR and 400 of Nathan Strother. So Dwight St. Hilaire is someone that we're going to be watching out from Kentucky. Again, he's a freshman. You know how those freshmen can be. They can be sneaky, just fearless and just goes after it. So the 300 time is pretty good. Again, it's the first or second week of December, so he don't need to be running 31 seconds in the 300. And the 300 is an event that it's not contested in the NCAA at a championship level, so it's just one of those off events. So I think that he probably will have a good strong 400 and maybe even have some good 200s come SEC. Who knows? But we'll keep an eye out on Dwight St. Hilaire as the season continues. The women's 300. If you've been living under a rock, I'm sure you know this by now. Sydney McLaughlin, the high school phenom, freshman phenom that is at Kentucky. She broke the collegiate record in her very first outing for Kentucky. Can we say amazing? I mean, this girl, I don't know what to say about her. I think she's going to be the next great face for USATF. I mean, I'm surprised that she ended up at Kentucky. I thought she was going to go pro out of high school, but she's just an amazing personality. She seems like a nice girl. She seems like she puts in hard work, and she's so smooth and effortless in her running. And she reminds me of just Allison Felix, when Allison Felix was in high school, and at that same age, it just reminds me. I just feel like she's going to be the next Allison Felix as far as notoriety and accomplishments. Different events probably, but just as far as notoriety and accomplishments. And again, the very first race for Kentucky, she goes out and breaks the 300 record, which again, the 300 is not an event that's highly contested in the NCAA. So, but some people have come through and run some decent times. She ran 36:12. Her PR was 36:82. That was a national high school record that she set back in February in the New York Armory in high school, but she dropped 7/10 off of her 300 time in her very first race for Kentucky. So I don't know what to think. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to expect from Sydney McLaughlin, but I feel like this is going to be a very big, very, very big year. And for her to run 36:12 already, who knows? I mean, I know that I'll get into my 400 or I'll get into my track and field reviews for the in-depth in another video, so I'm not going to talk about who she may face, what competition she's going to face right now. I'll save that for the next video. But again, 36:12 already from Sydney McLaughlin. Whew, Jesus, we'll see. And it was just so effortless. I mean, if you haven't seen the video, it's been some videos floating out there on social media. It was so effortless, and she just, she ate up the competition within the first 100 meters. So I think that she could probably run. Obviously, I think she could run 50 point come this year indoor. And I think she'll definitely run a good 200 time. I don't know where Kentucky's going to focus her at, but again, we'll just have to wait and see. So also then for the 300, she didn't run with Sydney McLaughlin. She had ran in a different. Actually, it was the first. Sydney McLaughlin ran in week 2. The next runner, Gabrielle Thomas, she ran from Harvard. She ran in week 1 at a different event. I mean, at a different meet. She ran 37:47, which is decent. It's not a 36:12 that I just mentioned. It's a second and a half slower than what I just mentioned for Sydney McLaughlin. But I have to note Gabrielle Thomas because she's run some pretty good times. She was 3rd in 2016 in the outdoor 200. In the outdoor 200 at NCAA. She ran 22:47, which was a huge surprise at that time. I remember when I saw that race, I'm like, who is this girl from Harvard? I'd never really known Harvard to have sprinters like that. So for her to have ran 22:47, win legal, and got 3rd in 2016, I kind of started to kind of like keep my eye on her a little bit, but she ran 37:47. She's not a 400, runner. She's more of a 2/1 type of runner. So to run 37:47 is a PR actually for her. Her previous PR was 38:03. She ran at she ran that time at the same meet last year. So she made some good improvements. In 2017 outdoors, she came in 3rd as well, and that's crazy 200 with Deja Fail. But anyway, that's not what this video is about. but Gabrielle came in 3rd in the 2017 200 as well. So she got 3rd both as a freshman and as a sophomore in the 200 outdoors. She ran 22:61 in that race. Her PR for her sophomore year in 2017 outdoors was 22:56, and indoor she got 7th in the indoor 200 in 2017 NCAA's. She ran 22:89. She got 7th in that race. She ran 37:47. The thing with Gabrielle Thomas that I've noticed with Harvard is that they run her a lot. They run her week after week after week after week, and I think that kind of caught up with her in her sophomore year. So I just wish they ran her a little bit less, and maybe she'll be ready to do better come NCs. Also, we have Leah Fowles. Yeah, Leah Fowles, folks. Sorry if I'm getting your name wrong. I apologize. From Boston University. Boston University, you don't really hear too much about in the sprints. But she ran 37:87. She's from Bishop McNamara here in the DMV. I'm in the DC area. She went to Bishop and McNamara and for high school, and so I have to give a shout out to her. So her PRs in high school, she ran a 40:17 in the 300. Her 200 times was her high school PR was in the 400 was 56:78. So and her freshman year at Boston University, she ran 24:65 in the 200 and also 54:64 in the 400. So she's improved her 400 time about 2 seconds, a little over 2 seconds in her freshman year, and she's already run 37:87 in the 300. So again, another runner who out of high school didn't have amazing times, but I think that she's on a good track, and for her to run 37:87 in the first week in December may mean that she could probably get down to 54, 53, 54 low, 53 maybe this year in the 400 indoors. And if she can do that, 53 isn't gonna probably make it to NCs, but again, who knows what she can run faster than 53. For her to run 37:87, she's on target to run pretty good. The women's 800, again, another name that I might mess up. I don't want to mess up everybody's name, but Abiki Abinyi from Middle Tennessee State. She's a junior at Middle Tennessee State. I remember seeing her somewhat in the 800 last year at NC's. She's ran 2:05 in week 1 in the first week in December. She has a PR of 2:04 indoor, 2:04:45 indoors, and outdoor she ran 2:02. She placed 7th indoors in the 800 at NCAA's, and then in outdoors she got 13th. So She didn't make the finals outdoor, but she ran 202 outdoors. So for her to run 202 outdoors shows that she had the potential to make the finals. She just maybe just had a bad race in the preliminary rounds. But she also has a PR in the 400 of 52:49. So she ran that at her conference meet in 2017, her 2017 conference meet outdoors. So Abiki from Middle Tennessee State, she's going to be one to watch out in the 800 this year. With the going pro of Raven Rogers, the 800 may or may not be wide open this year. I mean, but for Abiki to run 205 already in the 800, and for her to have a 52:49 PR in the 400 shows me that she has the speed. So that she may be another Raven Rogers type. She may have that 400 speed that can just outkick everyone in the last 100. So I'm going to keep my eye out for Abiki this year in the 800, especially because we don't know where the 800 is going to go. Now that Raven Rogers has not graduated, she didn't graduate yet, but she's gone pro. She forego her senior year of eligibility for Oregon. So we're going to see what Abiki is able to do, which then leads me to the next event that we have as the women's 1,000. Another freshman phenom here, Sammy Watson, the Texas A&M freshman from out of New York. She ran 2:42.12, which is not a PR for her. It's a great time already in the second week of December. She actually has a 2:40 PR that she ran at the USATF 2017 championships, but she won the 1,000. So not a freshman, but a high school student, and winning the 2017 USATF 1,000-meter dash or amongst professionals, that was a big statement. She's at Texas A&M and she's run 2:42 already. I know that when she started her season off last year in the 1,000 running 2:49. So the first race of the year she runs 2:42 at Texas A&M at Texas A&M and for Texas A&M. So I mean, I think that, like I said, the 800 is open this year. Raven Rogers has left the collegiate scene. I kind of feel like Sammy Watson might be stepping into her shoes. So even though the 800 is open, the 800 may not be that open. You never know what happens with freshmen. You can't put that much pressure on them and expect them to go out there and win their very first NCAA champ, in their very first NCAA appearance. But for her to run 2:42 already says that she's ready, that she's capable, and she's already won big on a big stage, winning the USATF Nationals in the 1,000 this past 2017 indoor season. So we're going to keep an eye out for her, for Sammy Watson. In the process of running at 2:42, she broke the Texas A&M school record in the 1,000, which was held by Jasmine Frey, who was in that race. Jasmine Frey was in the same race that Sammy Watson had ran 2:42. Jasmine Frey ran 2:45, which is off of her PR of 2:43.15 that she had ran last year, that same meet at Texas A&M. Jasmine Frey is the indoor collegiate record holder of the 800. She just ran 2 flat last year in the 800. So Jasmine Frey, is a good training environment, looks like, going on between Sammy Watson and Jasmine Frey. So maybe they can go 1-2 this year in the 800 indoors. That'll be something to look at. That'll be a good event to look out for this coming season. But again, I'm not going to get into my season previews because I'm going to do that in the next video or two. So look out for my in-depth season previews coming up soon. The women's 3,000. It's not a lot. It wasn't a lot of distance races going on, but in the very first week of December, some of the girls from cross country that still was sharp from peaking for NCs kind of ran in there and opened up to try to get some qualifying times. Put out Elinor Purrier, the senior from New Hampshire. She ran 8:55, which is a big PR for her. She hadn't really run the 3,000 a lot, but she ran 8:55, which is surely going to qualify her for nationals. And she looks to be a contender. She didn't place probably as high as she would have liked in cross country NCs this season, but she has some very style PRs. I think she's run like 4:20 something in the mile, and she's run some good steeplechase events outdoors. So Elinor Purrier in the 3,000 so far. We have Heather McLean from UMass Amherst. She's a senior. She ran 9:03. And Millie Polidano from Providence, she's a junior. She's running 9:05. And so again, those are early season times. 9:05 and 9:03 wouldn't have qualified you, or probably well, no, actually would have qualified you, but it would have been kind of close to qualify you last season. But to run that in your very first 3,000 of the season it begs that you'll have a good season coming up, and we have to keep an eye out for the 3,000. In the women's 5K, in that first week, oh my God, we had a heavy weight battle between Karissa Schweizer and Ednah Kurgat from New Mexico. This was the matchup that everyone was looking forward to for cross country that didn't pan out the way we expected. I mean, we expected Ednah Kurgat to take it out and to be deadly in cross country, and she did that, so that played out the way we expected. But Karissa Schweizer just didn't have the day that she probably would have wanted, or that everyone would have expected from her. But they came back on the track and indoors, and she gave it to Ednah Kurgat. Karissa Schweizer ran 15:17. Ednah Kurgat ran 15:19. In that same race, Ednah Kurgat's teammates, Winnie Coletti, she ran 15:37. And Sharon Lachetti from Kansas, she ran 15:39. Grayson Murphy from Utah, she ran 15:44. And Alice Wright, the other New Mexico teammate, ran 15:46. Again, we've already had 10 women break 16 minutes in the 5K so far, and it was only 2 weeks. So to break, if you break in 16 minutes in the 5K, usually you're contended to qualify for nationals. So it's been 10 females that have done it so far, and again, it's only week 2. Most of the cross country people that ran cross country, a lot of the teams haven't even opened up yet. You still have like Ali Ostrander, the Oregon girls. I mean, you still Colorado girls. It's still so many people that haven't opened up yet. That are going to crack those that 16 minute barrier, and I think it's going to be probably the hardest year to qualify for the 5K. But we'll keep an eye out for that, and again, I'll give a preview for that probably in my next upcoming videos. And other events that happened for week 1 and week 2. In the men's, back to the men. It's been a while since I did any of the men events, but in the men's events, we had in the men's 60 hurdles, we had Chad Zallow from Youngstown State. He's a senior. He ran 7:65, and his PR was set last year of 7:61, so he's right off of his PR, 400s off of his PR. And Chad, he got 3rd indoors in the hurdles, and he got 9th outdoors. He didn't make the finals outdoors, but he got 3rd last season indoor. He ran in week 1 and in week 2, but he ran that 7:65 in week 1. And another thing, just like I had mentioned about Gabrielle Thomas, Chad Zallow from Youngstown State, he runs a lot. I've noticed that he runs like almost every week, and I think that caught up with him last year at NCs. Obviously when he got 3rd, because he was leading the leaderboard list the whole season up until he got to NCs, and he got 3rd, and then outdoors he didn't even make the final. So I just wish they may slow him down a little bit, not run him every week, give him an opportunity to to peak and be at his best when it counts. I mean, it's good to run 7:61 right now, but in week 1 you don't have to run 7:61. If you can't run 7:61 at NCs in that preliminary round or in the finals, then it's not going to do you any good to run 7:61 right now. But if you can, if he's on target to run 7:40 come NCs, then hey, then maybe I need to shut my mouth up and not be a Bleacher Reporter. But also, we had Daniel Roberts from Kentucky. He's a Kentucky sophomore. Haven't heard much about him. So he's just a sophomore, so he only did 1 year at Kentucky. He ran 7:71, which is a big PR for him. His previous PR last season at Kentucky was 7:86, and so he's already run 7:71. So he's ahead of the curve for him already. In Kentucky, a great hurdling school right now. They're producing world-class hurdles. And so Daniel Roberts, again, he's a sophomore, he's young, and so we're going to have to keep an eye out for him. He's running 7:71 already. This can potentially qualify from NCs, and we can see where he goes in the future. Speaking of the hurdles, in the women's 60 hurdles, we had Jasmine Camacho-Quinn from Kentucky. She's a junior from Kentucky. She ran 8:04, which is 200s off her PR that she set last year at 8:02. So she's knocked on her PR already in her first outing of the 2017/18 indoor season. Jasmine Camacho-Quinn, I mean, she's a big name. She won NC's outdoor as a freshman in 2016. Last indoor in 2017 indoor, she got 7th indoors, but she's not really of a 60 hurdle sprinters in my opinion, but she got 7th, but she's already close to her PR already, so she may have a better indoor season than she did last year. Outdoors, she got 2nd outdoors. That was a good race that she had outdoors in 2017. After winning in 2016, she got 2nd. She runner up in 2017. So, but already she started off 8:04. So, you know, she's going to be one of the heavy favorites. But again, we'll get into those reviews coming up at my next couple of events. So yeah, so those are the events that have happened, and those are some of the meets that have happened so far in week 1 and week 2. Again, this was just my first video. I'm just trying things out. I don't know if I'm gonna always do my videos like this. I'm probably gonna switch it up depending on how my community, how you guys like it. I'm gonna try to do some different things. And again, like I said, it's mainly gonna be focused around the NCAA season. But I'll talk about some high school events. I'll talk about some of the pro events that happen throughout the year. But you know, just let me know. Again, this is the track and field Bleacher Reporter coming to you, just giving you different news, reviews, previews of meets and races, and all things track and field related. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, just leave some suggestions, leave some comments, leave some feedback. This is my first video that I've done, so don't be too critical on me, but just let me know how you liked it, and we'll see where we'll go with it. I hope, you know, in the next couple of weeks to do some previews of the NCAA 2017-18. Not even the indoor season, but just the preview of the track and field season as a whole, because I'll probably include some outdoor events too, just so I won't have to do it twice. But hopefully everything goes well. This is the track and field Bleacher Reporter here, coming to you again with my new channel, and we're gonna have some fun with it. We're gonna just, you know, have some discussions and have some, you know, thoughts of as our Bleacher Report for my other Bleacher Reporters out there. We can have some discussions, and we can just have some you know, have some sideline talk, because we're not out there running, but or jumping. So I hope you enjoyed this, and just subscribe to my channel, leave some feedback, and we'll interact.